Hello, everybody. Before we start this episode of the Get Back podcast, I just want to issue a quick statement. As everybody might know, these episodes come out on Sunday, and Sunday morning, we unfortunately found out that the sports world lost LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacy. Kyron Lacy was a breakout star wide receiver for the Baton Rouge. And I just want to issue a quick statement saying RIP to him, and our condolences are with his family and his loved ones. And if you're ever struggling mentally, don't ever hesitate to reach out to somebody, as that's very important.
Always. It's definitely a sad story. Hope his family and everything is doing okay, and hope everything turns out for the good for them.
Absolutely.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I'll do what Vogue did. You upset with what he did? Because you lost your parlay?
I didn't lose a parlay on him, like winning or losing. I lost parlay on significant strikes.
By a lot, too. We'll get into that. How you feeling today?
Feeling good, ladies and gentlemen. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm excited for the episode. And I think it's episode 5, right? Episode 5? 4. Okay, 4. So we're not quite
jumping ahead a little bit. He ready.
My bad.
He
I did. I was ready for it. But if you're not familiar, welcome back or welcome to the Get Back podcast. I'm your host, Damian Dusten, here with
Ayden Jones. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
And what a podcast we have in store for you today.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
As many know, UFC 314 was yesterday in the Kiesa Center in South Beach, Florida. And we had some banger fights all the way from the early preliminary rounds to the main event of the evening, which was Diego Lopez versus Alexander Volkanovski.
How you feeling? How are you feeling about that fight, man?
I'm feeling great. I think I want to break down. I think we're going to do that last. I want to go into that last because I think I want to touch base with just a couple fights.
You want to go to the prelims?
Yeah, we'll go straight to preliminaries. Obviously, early prelims didn't really surprise us. I think the Gore fight maybe surprised me a little bit. I thought Gore put on a little bit better fight, but I'm not going to really get too much into that. But yeah, let's start in the preliminary cards. I think we need to start with Chase Hooper, Jim Miller. A fight in which Chase Hooper dominated, but we expected.
Chase dominated, but Jim started out really good.
He did.
He looked like a drunk old uncle, but the way he started that fight, I had a little bit of courage in him. I think after that second round, I think Chase just realized what that fight was going to turn out to be, and he started just throwing just straight spinning kicks, straight hooks, and it wasn't looking too good for Mr. Jim. But the old head's still out there, so we got to give it to him for going out.
And I feel like just straight conditioning. Yeah. I think that was a big reason why Jim Miller couldn't win, and Chase Hooper just looked so much faster. And when you're taking somebody's back in every round,
right,
multiple times potentially, which I know he did in the second round and the third, you're bound to win and just dominate. And I think it was obviously a unanimous decision. And who knows? Chase Hooper moves up the ranks. A good fight for him.
Right.
So now moving on, I think we're gonna skip the Jan fight.
Cross-eyed Verna. You gonna script cross-eyed Verna? We can't. We
can graze over it. I think
just give her at least 2 minutes.
I can.
What she did
I respect it.
It was kind of.
But insane, do you think this fight propels her to now fight?
It has to.
Weili?
It has to. When you beat the number one contender like that, the way that she did, I guess you can say that first round I would go to possibly Jan, but after it, cross-eyed Verna handled business. I don't know about the knee pads. I know that was legal, but
yeah, the knee brace really confused me. I didn't know that you were able to wear something so thick.
It was a couple things that shocked me. We can get into a little bit later with Yair's fight too, but he had shocked me a little bit too. But this fight, I don't think it shocks us only because we haven't seen it. I think people can do it. They just choose not to. Maybe it's pride. Maybe they just don't know the rules. But if it was me, I would. If it's available,
absolutely. Especially with the leg kicks and how the leg kick has developed as the UFC has grown in age. I didn't know you were allowed to do that. But she fought well.
That's what I'm saying. She handled it, and I didn't know she can go to the ground like that. So
absolutely, she did her work on the ground. She
proved a little point with that.
Now the last fight of the preliminary card is featherweight bout between Dan Ige and Sean Woodson. Now, some would say it was a controversial stoppage. Some would say
It
it was
was, but
early. What were your thoughts?
it was a fun fight. I don't think I was familiar with Sean, but I wasn't that familiar. His build is so wonky. Like
He looks so
he
weird, bro.
moves so weird. I feel like his arms go down to his knees. His
He
legs
looks
are like
weird.
five.
No,
Like
he looks weird.
he
I've never seen it. I've
he's a
never seen
very
him build like that.
weird
He has such a
moving
small
guy.
body.
But
He has such a small body.
if I see it out like that first round, I thought he was possibly gonna knock Dan out.
Dan
I
out,
didn't
yeah.
know he was the way that he was moving. He was shifting a little bit, giving the uppercuts.
Yep.
It looked like a weird little stance that he had.
I think Dan was able to pick his spots.
Right,
I think that's
yeah.
why he won this fight. I mean, obviously getting him out with a TKO, he was able to pick his spots. But I think more so in the sense of he was the aggressor.
Right.
And coming into that fight, we didn't really know if he was going to be the aggressor because of the length.
I say the second round, I guess Dan became the aggressor, but that first round, Dan wasn't really hitting.
No, he wasn't. I think
Dan
he
also
was
came
testing
to
the
that fight
waters.
a little emotional. He looked like he was a little emotional when it comes to that fight. I don't know if his eyes were a little watery, teary eyed, but
he really wanted to win.
Yes, I'm saying. It looked like he had a little bit more fire built up in him just in a regular fight, I would say.
And this puts Dan Ige right back in the contention mix now. I mean, obviously he was already ranked before that. I think basically what this does is just maybe slides him 2-3 spots ahead of whoever. You know what I'm saying? So now we move on to the main card.
This was just such a good
Dominic
card,
Reyes versus Nikita Krylov in a fight where I even said in our short that we posted up on our Instagram, I said Dominic Reyes was going to win via knockout. And boy, was I right.
I don't see why that's a problem. Simply because Dominic Reyes is the only person we have seen beat Jon Jones.
Wow.
How do you feel about
you? So you think Dominic Reyes beat Jon Jones?
If we somehow were able to time travel back to what was it, March, April, like February of 2020? I remember watching that fight visually, and I know that Jon Jones potentially lost that fight. You can make it any other way. We can look at stats. You can pull it up. You can do whatever you want.
I can.
Dominic Reyes won that fight in 2020 or 2019, 2020. He won that fight. Simple. So I think
you know what? I'll give you this. He outstruck Jon Jones.
That's what I'm saying. You're looking at the stats. Do you remember that fight?
I do. I don't remember him winning it.
After we film this, I want you to go back into the dark room like Aaron Rodgers, and I want you to watch that fight.
We'll see.
Tell me who won that fight.
All right, we'll see.
I
remember
stats.
Jon winning it.
I want you to tell me.
I remember Jon winning it.
Who won that fight?
But obviously, this puts Dom back in. I don't want to say contention. He's not a contender yet.
But you beat because
he's back
nice
with his name, and now it's a fight where we see Dominic Reyes fight. We're like, okay, if he wins this one, then what? Because he could maybe potentially go on this slow trajectory back to a path to the light heavyweight division. Because obviously there's Goliath, but we don't know.
It can get a little tricky. Personally, I don't really know where he would possibly want to go after, so who he wants to fight, but he definitely gets ranked back up. Because
absolutely.
Even though Nikita was an 11, I think he was ranked 11. It's still a big fight.
Absolutely.
You fight anybody ranked as a big fight, but Nikita alone, because he was on the come up, I think that we possibly expected him to do a little bit more against Dominic. I think it's a big fight for him. So
absolutely,
good fight.
Moving on to the featherweight division, we had Bryce Mitchell versus John Silva. John Silva absolutely dominated, in my opinion. Even though Bryce showed that he was still a good fighter, I think
Bryce got a lot of heart though.
Yeah,
I put a lot of dogs down on my days, and they usually squeal. I'm pretty sure in the little video I said that Bryce could possibly win the fight, which is a little crazy. Silva came out taunting a lot. Like, he even was starting to get boozed by how much he was taunting. He taunted one time. He pointed I think he was pointing at Trump or something like that. Turned around and gave him a spinning kick right to the dome.
Yeah.
You know how nasty and dirty you have to be to even do something?
Pause, man.
No pause. You know how nasty and dirty and slimy and grimy you got to be to do something like that, man?
That's wicked.
I'm just saying.
That's wicked.
Who else have you really seen do it like that, taunting and just going up? Especially that's ranked number 13.
That's true.
You don't see it.
But John Silva, I think, just simply he outstruck him, outmatched him on the ground, and I feel like the submission that he was able to get is such a dominant submission that I really just think
that was purely insane.
Yeah,
the submission that he got up on him.
So I think that just showed that there's levels to it, and John Silva is simply just a level above
There's levels,
Bryce Mitchell.
but you have him ranked at 13. How? Because it can't be any. I think he has to
Top
go
10.
above top 10. Yeah,
Above top
like
10.
that was
That was that good of a performance.
good of a show. But the fact that he could finish it off with not even on the ground,
Yeah.
he got him in a clinch. Like that was almost on John Jones getting that one clinch off. Like that was
Yes, very true.
was very insane. I remember we watched it live and we were mind blown. I say. So,
And I think to your point, that puts him back top 10. Who do we see him really match up with though?
that's what I'm saying. So
That's
where it gets tricky.
John Silva against Yair? Does Yair get a title
Yair
shot?
definitely is because we're gonna get into that. Yair's definitely
Because that's
ahead
the next
of,
fight that
Silva.
we're just about to discuss.
Silva's very good. Yair, after his recent outcomes, you can look at the Volk fight all you want, but after his recent outcomes, he deserves a little bit more than somebody who's just reaching the top 10. I'll say. So
Okay. Now speaking of Yair fought Patricio Pitbull. What did you make of that fight?
in our little videos, I made it sure to know I was a fan of Pitbull. He's a very good fighter. I think he didn't come out with that fire. He looked so intimidating a little bit in that first couple seconds.
I think that was his first fight in the UFC
it was
too.
his first fight.
To be on the main card.
Against
I think
Yair. But I told you that shows
those
how
lights,
much respect that they have for him.
Those lights were just a little brighter than
they were, but that second round he got very comfortable. He got comfortable in the second round.
He got slightly more comfortable, but I still think Yair completely
smelled blood.
He did.
I don't think that we've seen Yair that intimidating in an octagon.
Because I think he had so much aggression built up from the press conference of arguing with Diego that he said, "I need to win this fight."
That was a little bit more. He threw 4 head kicks in a row in less than 10 seconds.
Yeah. So we'll have to see, because obviously Diego's not getting this immediate rematch against Volk.
He isn't.
So maybe Yair Diego Lopez.
That'll be a very good fight.
It would be a very good fight.
Especially,
and in my opinion, it should be a title.
Where is it going to be at?
Mexico.
Mexico. You know how crazy that would be?
Not only would it be crazy, but would that be a main or co-main?
In Mexico, I would think that would be, unless you have who? We're going to have Alexa Grasso or somebody like that fighting on the main event?
Grasso could be a main event.
Grasso could be very good, but I think she has a fight coming up, I'm pretty sure. So no, she going to fight in like July, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that would be main event.
That would be a little nuts.
That would be nuts.
Dana, holla at your boys.
That would be
holla
insane.
at your boys, man.
That would be insane.
That would. But either way, I think Pitbull, that first round, he obviously it looked like he didn't even want to throw a punch. I think he was simply just trying to visually see where his head was at in that octagon, because I think it's so different. You go from Bellator to anywhere else. Not even that. Let's say it the other way. You go from anywhere to the UFC.
Yeah.
It's
going to be a rough transition unless you're really on that level. Venom Page, like Venom Page. Yeah.
Get into just going into the UFC. He had to. So
yeah.
I think we'll see Pitbull do something, but
we'll see him fight another name. Probably not as big as Yair, but you'll absolutely. And I think to put Patricio against such a technical and
respect him, dog. He was one of those,
and he's to me he's like a matrix fighter.
Because I don't know if you saw,
he just
like
knows
I said,
so much.
You were very right. He said Yair would run through him. He did, but the couple of hits that Pitbull got off,
they were
very nice.
Absolutely,
like he has power.
But Yair with the elbows, the kind of
kicks,
the body.
My
it's just, and even when you're blocking that head kick,
right,
you're still shucking your hand.
It's getting hit, but I think he blocked a lot of them. Yair threw at least 25 head kicks.
Hands hurting after that fight. I hope you know
in 3 rounds, mind you. This isn't a fight. Like, this is 3 rounds that he threw.
Kevin Holland broke his hand from Wonder Boy.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah, I think Yair put on dominant performance, and it definitely showed. Next up, co-main event of the evening, Patty KO Mike Chan.
Patty the bad.
You're a little fanboy, man. You are a little fanboy.
You know what? But you could say this. Was I doing it before the fight? Yes. So you can't say it like that.
I did not think.
I
didn't think he was going to win.
Surprised, because we both said that Mike was still going to win.
Mike didn't take his Mike approach. His approach is to, I'm going to push the pace. I'm going to be in front of you for the whole fight, and I'm just going to be swinging. He did not do that this fight, and I think it made him very vulnerable to the shots that he took from Patty, and it also kind of threw us off with this whole notion that Mike Chen is this violent fighter, because he was just getting pieced up with no avail.
I'm gonna sit back for a little bit for this one. I'm very disappointed, man. He waited so long. He waited so long for a certain man, and the man made him just sit in the corner with the chair. Conor deserves jail time for this. Conor deserves jail time for taking a black father, for taking a black father out of his prime. Mike Chandler, he waited 2 years for this. This is bad. Like, you can't tell me 2 years ago.
Waiting 2 years for Conor.
Even at his age at 38, you can't tell me.
It was ridiculous. And I think, obviously, in my opinion, he looked better in the Charles fight. And he got UD'd in that Charles fight.
He got whooped.
He was getting whooped bad.
Because I think even that first one, we probably like, maybe he's trying to just get back
feel him out.
Like,
maybe he's trying to confuse him. But he did not rush in for any type of violence at all. I don't think he got, obviously when we look at the significant strikes.
You want to know what's funny though? His significant strikes, I had a little bet. Patty's significant strikes were over 27.
And you
27.
And you said over?
I said over.
You said over.
It was one of the green ones.
80.
One of the green ones. That just kind of shows you though.
Put it like this though. In the entire fight and how it was going,
right.
Michael Chandler threw 39 strikes to Patty Pimblett's 197.
They showed it after the second round. Mind you, this is a 5-round fight, y'all. After the second round, Patty had about 4, maybe like 39, I think, significant strikes. Yep. Mike Chandler had 9. Mike Chandler had 9 significant strikes.
He just wasn't capitalizing purely on his offense. His gunner approach, when he would run in, he would get clipped.
He was running in, but
he would get clipped, and he wouldn't get a clip.
He was getting
because usually the thing that we love so much about Michael Chandler is he'll take some to get some.
He was no stop. That was very TL on the play.
Pause.
We've never seen Mike actually. See, this may be another pause. We've never seen Mike leak that much. I'm being chill. We gotta grow up, man. Chill. I'm being for
no, yeah.
He was like that was a very bad
cut. He recut a scar that he had on his eye already. But so I think when you have that, you're just gonna bleed a lot.
You want to know? It was bad.
He wore it bad. The damage bad.
You said, "Dog, they're about to start the fight," and it wasn't because it was before. Obviously, Patty actually made them.
Because he took his back and when he started choking him out, you could just see the blood was just going out of his eye, dripping all over his
arm. It was all over his knees, and all you saw was just a bloodbath that they were just sitting.
But then you have to look. But then we would have to look back at that Poirier Chandler fight. We could say they should have stopped it there then, because of how much blood there was. And how bad his cuts were.
That's what I'm saying. Those were cuts. Like, this was one cut that was
just huge.
That other fight, he had multiple. That was one cut that made a bloodbath. Yeah. Like the doctor almost had to stop the fight.
And the thing that I actually liked about Mike Chen in that fight, though, for the first round was he was getting some takedowns.
He was.
And that's not usually something he goes
that's
for.
All he can honestly do. I think he got so much. Every time he went in, Patty was catching with because I think we're talking about Mike a lot. Let's talk about Patty, bro. Like Patty simply handled business.
He did.
That was the best performance that I think we have seen from him. Like, his last fight, you fight Green. It's not like it's a fight, but it's not somebody like we're okay. Like, we're looking like, oh, this is like a contender. Mike, you fight him that's still a good fight, 38 or not. That's one of the fights that you brag about.
Absolutely, and Patty was just so dominant.
Did you see after the fight, Mr. Colby Covington?
I did see that, and
weird.
I think he's just trying to get some attention. So I'm not going to really get too much into that.
We don't have to. But that was very weird.
It was very weird, especially Patty.
That's what I'm saying, Pat, because he does this with almost everybody. Patty just doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. But
then he just wants some attention.
He wants some attention
because he hasn't been getting love.
He hasn't won a fight since 2022.
Yeah,
he deserves a corner chair also. So,
I would agree with. I would tend to agree with that. But yeah, Patty was just so dominant. I think picked his spots wisely. He was throwing that leg kick.
Boy, I'm shaking. Boy, I'm ready to talk about the great man. I'm shaking, man. I'm ready to talk about the great man.
And he really took over.
I'm ready to talk about the great man. Please, man. Please.
And
I'm ready, man.
Main event of the evening. We have Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego
He's
Lopez.
back.
Alex Volkanovski winning via unanimous decision.
The
Which
GOAT.
I agree with.
Undisputed GOAT
The
of
GOAT.
the featherweight.
So he is the GOAT of the featherweight.
You already know if he defends that title one more time,
he passes Jose Aldo, which for the most title wins in featherweight history. And I think what him recapturing the belt after everything he's been through is what makes it so
last
much
2 years
sweeter.
have been so rough for
'Cause-
not just him, us, man.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Bad run.
He has to be one of the biggest fan favorites. I say him. We got Alex. Obviously, you got Israel before all the whatever.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
Alex stays.
Alex is the easiest.
He stays as like one of our favorites, and the fact that he was. This is like a child's like child's book or something like that. Like this is like an old like old classic movie where the fighter
Old man
comes
gets
out,
his
like,
belt
yeah,
back.
He gets his belt
Absolutely.
back.
And I think from what we saw, he fought such a technical striker in Diego Lopez,
Yeah.
who I said was gonna knock Alex out and retire him. I was very wrong.
I was right. I said that this.
You
I
did.
said either Diego knocks him out or Volk wins by close decision. Cause
Yes,
you can say that Volk walked
did
in,
it.
he did not. Diego will be back.
Diego will definitely be back.
Diego will be back.
But it really went to show that I'm Alex. I've been here before.
That's nuts.
I've been here before.
Think
so
about
I'm
the
just
age
gonna,
difference, how active
Yes,
Diego is. Because
absolutely.
Diego was very active. He was very
Of course.
he rushed him a lot. And he got his hits off. Like they were both exchanging. Mind you, honestly, not trying to sound like rude or anything. That last, what was it? I think the second or third round when he had knocked him with like 10 seconds
Absolutely.
to go. 5 more seconds on that clock. I don't know. Because he had Alex running. Like when that's
He
the one
did.
thing. That's the one thing about Alex.
He did.
When he gets in trouble and he starts running, it never looks good. Like, because he did, I think, 2 times in that fight, which that's what I'm saying. Like, it was a good one.
And I think we say that now because now we know how vulnerable his chin is because he's been knocked out
Right.
2 times in a row last time. And he had a grueling fight with Islam the first time they fought, which I thought he won, but it was still an intense fight.
Hurt, man.
Absolutely. And I think him taking this layoff really got him back to that Alexander the Great level.
Man.
And
the picture that he even posted before the fight,
it was amazing. You could feel the energy was a lot different.
We're over 20%. You could feel the aura. I'm sorry to tell you, like you could genuinely feel something that a couple swipes away that I felt. I was like,
and you could feel he was just from being motivated to fight. This was just a different level for him.
Flow state. He started getting a flow state, especially towards the end.
Especially towards the end with those exchanges.
I will say, like I said, I had a couple bets. My mind for some reason told me that Volk wasn't going to hit 97 significant strikes over the whole fight. Let's just say in the total, man had 158.
158.
Diego had only 63. That's what I'm saying.
63.
If you look at the stats, I don't think that you would generally get the full story. But
yes,
Volk went to work.
He went to work.
Our king, our go to the featherweight. He's back.
He's back.
He's simply back.
So now that you say he's back with the illustrious belt, who challenges him in the featherweight division?
This is where it gets very tricky because you look at the featherweight. Honestly, the way that Yair called that fight out in Mexico, I'm pretty sure that that's who he was talking about. But Volk is obviously over 35. He broke the 35 curse. Let's talk about that. He broke the 35 curse.
He did break the 35
He's over
curse.
35. And to go back and that's basically under 4 months, basically, or 4 months exact. That's very, very soon. That's very soon.
Well,
or I apologize. That's 5. That's 5. That's 5. So yeah, it's a little bit of time, I guess, honestly. But for Volk, because we have to look. Volk always is ready to fight. He is,
but he did wear a lot of damage.
He did.
He did wear a lot of damage. So if they don't decide to go in that direction, I can't believe I'm saying this.
Uh-oh. Look at the camera, see what he says. I just want to make sure that they get a clear view of what you're about to say.
When does Movar and Valov get a fight?
He deserves it against Volk right now.
I'm saying that because Yair is so
full division.
I'm saying that because Yair is so hell-bent on fighting in Mexico, which is fine.
Full division, featherweight.
But I just simply don't see Volk making that date with. I mean, he wore a lot of damage this fight. Listen, he dominated by unanimous decision, but the hits that he took at his age, he needs to make sure that he is back to 100% or the closest thing he can get to that, because that's what he did for this fight, and it was still a slugfest for much of the fight that was dominated by Alex. Obviously,
what if Yair fights Mosbar?
And that's
That's who goes. Because honestly, that
So
gives
that's
Alex
a
a lot
co-main.
of time.
That's a co-main to me.
That is a co-main, but that gives Alex a lot of time.
It
though,
does. It does.
that
Maybe
he
do it
needs.
in.
You got to think if they're fighting
Nah.
September, you got to give Yair time too. You
Yeah.
had or whoever I want to say like that because Mosvar he's undefeated. I hope you know that.
November?
So he's November after September. They fight in September. You're gonna give them another fight in November. That doesn't. You can't do that.
It depending on how much damage he takes.
He won't.
Because at some point now,
Well,
Volk's not
for the
being
belt,
active.
Yair possibly will. I say December. Why can't at least give him that?
December?
January.
Oh, so Volk's not gonna fight until December. It's April now.
It is April.
So
That's
a
what I'm
lot,
saying,
though.
Paul. So, but you're saying that
It-
September's too.
You know what?
September's too soon. So then
I'm
what?
sure
You
Volk is.
want
I'm
October
sure
somewhere?
Volk is not going to be 100%. He's going to say yes, and they're going to fight in Mexico.
I don't think so. I think after getting his belt back, I don't know. I'm going back and forth. I know.
You're going back and forth now. You
Because
don't even know
now
where
when
you're
I'm
at
thinking
now.
about it, Volk just getting his belt back, even though we know who Volk is. I don't know if the
'Cause
great.
right now,
I don't know if the
I-
great is ready for
Because Ilya's not
September.
here anymore. So Ilya's gone. The boogeyman's gone.
Max doesn't really. I mean, I don't see
Max,
Max getting
just
anything.
lost.
Yeah. I'm not really seeing Max getting anything. It's really between Mosvar and Yair. What you gonna do, Ortega? Arnold is definitely gonna come up to. You can say
Yeah.
what you want. Arnold, if
Yeah.
he gets a couple more, you could see
If he
his
gets
name up
one
there,
big
too.
one, maybe.
Two. It got to be at least two. I don't know.
If
about
he
just
fights
one,
like
though.
Diego and knocks and does
Yeah,
something,
he knocked Diego out.
or wins, no, or just wins. I mean, dog.
I
We
don't know,
just
'cause-
saw
'cause
him.
I like Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan's nice. Alan's very nice.
So who do you want Diego fighting next?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like this is so tricky. I feel like everybody can fight each other. I don't know. I feel like that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I think it's really just between Yair and Mosvar. Whoever doesn't fight will fight the other.
That they fight the other
Fight the
person.
other one.
So it just makes them act. I like that. That makes sense. So obviously, now that we have that covered, I just want to hop real quick. We're not going to skim on it too much. Just the main event that we have coming up.
Right.
315, Bilal Muhammad versus Jack Metal. Oh my God.
Jack. Australian Jack. Let's.
Metadella Lena.
Which is crazy because you
Said it.
remember the other person's name, but not his. You remember?
That's
You remember?
so corny.
You remember whose name?
That is so
You
corny,
remember?
dog.
You remember Bilal's name, but
That is so
not
corny.
Australian Jack, which
Bilal
is crazy.
remembered the name Muhammad.
Which is
That's so crazy. Who you got winning that fight?
It really depends on how Jack comes out. It really depends on how Jack comes out. Bilal could definitely handle business. Jack is a very nice fighter. He's very active, and he can go to the ground. Very good.
So do you think if Jack does not come out with that aggressive approach, that Bilal will just take him down and start to dominate?
Possibly. I think that's what I'm saying. It could possibly. I don't know. I think this is just gonna be like us seeing if Jack is really ready or not. I feel like it can either go very bad where he possibly gets dominated because you saw what Buckley said. You have to respect Bilal. You can disrespect his name all you want. He's a good fighter. He can take you to the ground. He can hit. He showed us in his last fight that he could hit on the feet. He definitely showed us that. It really, like I said, it just depends on how much he wants this fight.
Absolutely.
I guess.
Absolutely. I think for Jack, he's just going to have to make sure that he doesn't get into these ground exchanges with Bilal, because as much as we hate to say it, Bilal is great in those ground exchanges. So as long as he doesn't do that, he can stay on the feet, keep some distance, lay down some, I think, leg kicks, and just the kicks in general are going to be super important that fight. I see Jack taking it.
Before there is a fight card, I think it's a fight night right before that. Gary's fighting what's his name?
Machado is fighting. He's fighting Prates.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Ian will probably win, even though I think Carlos is a great fighter. I just think
Carlos is also pissed.
Yeah, I understand that. I just think Ian is just kind of on this mission right now, and I think he's just gonna kind of just overwhelm Prates and
he's.
probably take
I
it.
think people don't talk about too. He's very tall for his division.
He is.
Like he towers a lot of people. He's definitely gonna tower Carlos. So it's gonna be a good one. It will be a good one.
But do you think? So do you think he'll dominate or no?
I don't know. Cause like I said, Carlos is like he's mad. Like George kind of like he let him off the hook a little bit, and not even that. Usually when a fighter drops out, you're able to get another fight that same night, even though it could possibly be worse because you don't know how to prepare for him. But He didn't get that, so he had to basically obviously wait a whole another month, or I won't say another month, but at least another couple weeks after you basically put your body through everything,
Yeah.
and you have to basically do it another couple of weeks right after. Like
Yeah, it's crazy.
that sucks. That sucks.
It does suck. Now, we obviously covered Alexander the Great, Diego Lopez. We've discussed all the young bulls and what's coming up next. You talk about. We got to dive into something that's been on my mind for a minute.
Talk to me.
Last episode, you came out with your little short mock draft, and you said something about Tyler Warren being 7. Your propaganda has spewed out into the public,
And
and
I'm
now I'm
glad
starting
they
to see
started
some
listening.
mock drafts.
What about
some-
Genty? What about Genty?
I think we see still Genty's coming out top 10 right now, and most of these mocks.
So basically, I was possibly actually getting the early bird, the early
I just
worm. Oh wait, the early bird gets the early worm. See, I almost said the early worm gets the early. Yeah. See, look
at you.
just know, I put him on sauce, and he hates to admit it. You know, this is my football head right here, and usually he tells me the information. I told him this on the video, and he acted like I was a madman. Am I wrong?
I did,
acted like
and
was a
I think these are still just the mock drafts, so we're
They,
gonna have to
they
wait
are,
and
they
see.
are, they are.
Obviously, you know, I just want to touch base on a couple things before we get into the draft, which is, I believe, next week.
As soon on the
it's
26th. 26th,
Oh,
right?
26. I'm bugging. So like almost 2 weeks.
Right.
We got Cam's going 1. That's out
Obviously,
the question.
apparently, even the NFL pages know that, because every time that they post something, they're saying who's gonna be selected at number 2. Like they're not even saying they're not even trying to get clicks from the number 1 anymore. They're saying who's gonna be number 2, and they're showing Abdul, Trav, and Hunter. Like that's really all. So it's a little crazy. You know, I'm seeing a lot of stuff about Hunter too. We can get into that, but
Absolutely. But Travis Hunter is projected to go to, just like you said, to the Cleveland Browns. I think that move for me is a bit peculiar because they don't have a quarterback
I'll tell you
necessarily.
why. But that's the whole point. The Browns are just so we're so in our own heads that even when we get a player like Kenny Pickett, who just said that he wants to very much start, and Joe Flacco, that we feel like we don't even need to draft another QB right now, at least in the first round. In the first round,
because I think if hear me out. What if is there a world where at 2, the Cleveland Browns select Travis Hunter, and then later in the first round they make a trade in order to acquire Shedeur Sanders?
That's the only thing that I haven't seen too, and I don't see how it's going to work. The person who I think it will trade up will possibly be the Saints or somebody like that to even get Shedeur. If he doesn't, I don't know. I think that's what I'm saying. If Shedeur or Trav don't get selected, or no, I feel like one of them had to be selected in the top 3, obviously. But whoever doesn't
Travis
get
or Shedeur.
that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to be Travis
in that top 3.
Yeah,
that's where people are going to try to start trading up for. And I think that they're saying the Saints are going to try to get Shedeur. Maybe they can fit him in at the 9 spot if he drops down, but if not, they may go up and go get him.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you got Derek Carr who's about to be injured too, so I mean, that'll probably be one of the most smartest picks.
Now, I want to move into something with you because obviously the top 3 are so sure-stead with 5 players.
Right.
When we look at this draft, we see where everybody is. Who are you looking at? Which team are you looking at in this draft in the first round? And you're like, they can benefit the most from these players available.
I'll say 2. I'll say the Falcons and possibly the Vikings. Only because the Vikings were already good. And I think they have the 24, like in the 22nd spot. Or you can even say the Chargers possibly. But let's start off with the Falcons. Falcons, I won't say that they're a couple pieces away, but they're close to the playoffs. Like I think throughout the years, closer now, recent, they're not that bad.
So who do you think they should select? A defensive player?
Will
Johnson out of Michigan. Okay.
Is that a bad pick?
It's not a bad pick. I think it's a little reach.
Their secondary is pretty decent. It can be better.
It does have AJ Terrell.
It can be better.
It can be. I think if you get somebody on a side of AJ, that will really kind of unlock their defense.
Am I tripping?
You're not.
Or like that's what I'm saying. Even with the Chargers,
Jediah.
You know, like I said, I think we haven't seen Warren go up, but on a couple of them, I'm seeing the Chargers could even take Tyler Warren in the 19th if he's still there.
Of course.
even you said something before the pod that I think I kind of tripped out a little bit. You would take Warren with the Broncos after, mind you, they just got Mr. Ingram. You
So
would take Warren.
Do you think there's
in the
do you
first
think
round?
do you think there's a spot where at 20 Denver can select
I'm
Warren?
just asking. I'm asking a simple question.
If Warren is there,
after getting that tight end, see, look, you're
Yes.
trying to beat around it. After getting a tight end, paying money, like one of the biggest tight end signings
if
of this
Tyler
last
Warren is
offseason,
available, yes, the Broncos will select
that
him with
is
the 20th
purely
pick.
insane.
You want to know why?
Purely
I mean, I'm
insane.
seeing these mocks and it's Colston Loveland going to the Broncos. So
He
what's the
got mad at
difference?
me 2 episodes ago for saying that someone could possibly waste their pick on Tyler Warren in like a top, like whatever pick. You guys just got a tight end. You're gonna waste your first round pick on another one, mind you.
No, I think Broncos select Omarion Hampton.
There's the Clemson tight end.
No, I
You
think
got
they
the
select.
other tight end. What's the other one?
And that's what. But
where
that's
is
why
he
I'm
at?
telling you, they'll probably select Omarion Hampton.
That won't be a bad pick.
Not at all.
That won't be a bad pick.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Jalen Walker's going up on a lot of people's draft boards too.
He is, because I think he's
moving
such a sure Pro Bowl linebacker. Or not. When I say Pro Bowl, I mean that in the sense that he could potentially go in his first year. He's such a good leader. He's a
Right.
great field general. He's got decent hands. Pause. And he's the most sure out of, because obviously we have Jahad Campbell.
Yeah, we got a couple.
We
of them.
got
We
a
have
couple.
of them.
And Jalen Walker's just such the sure one that is just ideal at ball coverage and stopping the run. So he's just so good at that it just makes sense. I think he'll go potentially top 10. I see him maybe
Ooh.
potentially going to the Bears, or if Genty's not there,
I
if
would
he
say the Bears. Or what if I told you this? Well, I don't know. I don't even know if I really believe this. Could the Cowboys trade up? They haven't done anything. Is this what they've been waiting for to trade up for?
I'm not entirely sure. I think 12 is kind of like this interesting spot because it's like, could Genty fall here? Could blank fall here? Could
But I think that's what's so kind of like the tricky part about it. Who's falling? I think if somebody doesn't select him with like the first 6 or 7, they could possibly try to trade up. Even they can. That's what I'm saying. Because
with
what if
the 12th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Shedeur Sanders, trade Dak Prescott to the Pittsburgh Steelers for TJ Watt, who's in a contract dispute with them. Steelers get their quarterback. Dallas gets the best defensive line in football, a new project at quarterback for cheap, CeeDee Lamb, and probably the best defense in football now. Boom. What did I just lay out right
let's
there?
Let's just say clip farming is a thing. My guy right here.
That's a clip farm?
Look, cuckoo in
trade-
the head. That was
hear me
why.
out.
Once you said TJ Watt
Just straight up.
goes
Because hear me out.
anywhere
TJ
else is
Watt-
wild.
TJ Watt is on the cusp.
Let's bring it back down. What you said. You said Dak Prescott
Yeah.
to the Steelers for TJ Watt. Panthers trade.
No.
Oh, wait, who
no,
trade?
no,
Oh, they're
trade.
just staying with the 12. Oh,
Staying
Shedeur.
with
That's
the
what you said.
12.
You said
Shedeur.
Shedeur somehow drops past the Saints, right? Past anybody else who's a quarterback because
Or-
the Dallas
yeah, oh,
Cowboys
you know what?
somehow have the
Actually-
Lakers' strength.
Actually, you know what? You're kind of right here. So I'll make a trade then. I'll make a trade. Somehow
they're
the
trading
Saints,
with the Panthers. That would be the only either the Panthers or the Saints are the only people they could trade with.
they trade with the Panthers. That 8th pick. It'll probably be worth their 12th and their 2nd and something like that. It'll be worth something. Yeah. They draft Shedeur. So now the son is going to Dallas to follow his father's footsteps at quarterback this time. We're trading Dak Prescott to a team that has been having this humongous question mark about quarterback for the past since Ben retired.
Yeah.
Because they literally started 2 quarterbacks this year, not because of injury, just because they were trying things out. So now you're
they're
going to
both
give
gone. So yeah.
So now you're going to give them Dak.
I don't see any of that happening.
So now you give them
pause.
Dak, right?
I think that
And
Jerry
TJ
Jerry
comes
is
to
too
Dallas.
focused on Dak. Jerry doesn't do anything. Jerry, if you even think that Jerry even has that type of mindset that where he thinks that far, You're crazy.
I'm sure somebody can just tell him.
They can't, obviously. I think if we haven't seen somebody just tell him in the past 20 years, nobody's going to just tell him.
And I
this
know you're
this year.
probably like, wow, the trade value of Dak Prescott and TJ, like, what, you're just going to trade them straight up? Yeah, I am. Because do you know how desperate the Steelers are to get a quarterback who's competent? And we're not going to sit here.
So basically, what
We're
you're
not
going to
gonna
say,
sit
you're
here
going to say
and
that the Steelers are basically going to take Dak Prescott and pair up Michael Parsons, Shador Sanders, and TJ Watt just for nothing, right?
They have Shador now.
You're crazy.
I'm not crazy.
You're crazy.
Let's
Just make the Cowboys one of them. So they're gonna have TJ Watt
Yeah,
and
Micah Parsons.
and Shador Sanders.
Shador's
And
going to be on a
CeeDee
rookie.
Lamb.
Shador's on a rookie contract.
Basically, he's taking the Lakers' optimism into the Dallas Cowboys, y'all, and you guys are just seeing this being played into the
Then
NFL.
Pittsburgh benefits, I think, the most out of it year one.
Pittsburgh would not benefit the most out of this. For Dak Prescott, you're a Dak
They
fan?
they would benefit the most out
No,
of this
they would
in year one.
not.
With
Wait,
George,
so like
with
I said,
Pickens,
the Cowboys are benefiting. They get Shador, and you're pairing once again. We're talking about how big a pairing of Myles Garrett and Abdul Carter is going to be. Micah Parsons
yes,
and TJ Watt.
yes,
Two of the top three middle linebackers that can
Yes.
switch over to that line that can
Yes.
just kill.
yes,
He's crazy.
on the same defense, and then
That's the whole point. So you think
Pittsburgh
that
goes
Pittsburgh
to the
wins
playoffs.
that? No.
No, I'm not saying they win it. I'm saying it's low key fair.
No, it's not.
Pittsburgh's not gonna pay TJ.
I think I'm getting upset because you're talking about the two worst teams that I hate, but it just you gotta stop. Like that's just crazy.
Hey, Jerry
That's
got the
just
money,
crazy.
man.
Jerry has the money. He doesn't have the heart or the mindset. And once again, Jerry die. He's not gonna do anything like that. He doesn't care enough, and he won't. He literally won't.
We'll see. I mean,
That could actually get hurt the next 3 years, and Jerry may just sit there.
so obviously we've been having this QB debate. Where do you see Jackson Dart going?
That's what I'm saying. Jackson Dart, he's gonna be like a round two, unless
Somebody gets super
really desperate, like the Steelers, and grab Jackson Dart.
And I think, but this is solely just predicated off, obviously Cam's gone. If Shador's gone, because let's say if Shador slides all the way
That's what I'm saying. I promise you.
to
As much as
20
people are
to
talking
21,
about, they won't let him. As much as
if
every
he
mock
slides
draft is
all the
saying,
way
they
to
won't let him.
21, Pittsburgh will select him. I just see that. I see it. I really do. I really do.
I don't know.
Or you could see a team like, oof,
Like who?
nah, it's too soon. It's too soon for me to say the Colts. Anthony
I'm pretty sure the
Richardson's
Colts
so
are
bad.
very locked in on Loveland. I think almost everywhere I've seen.
So you know what they'll do? Second round, if Jackson's there, they'll take Jackson Dart. Colts, they'll get rid of Anthony Richardson.
Mind you, he's tripping. They just paid big money for Danny Dimes. They have big faith in him, I guess, but they paid big money. They're not drafting a QB dog. Unless it's gonna be like a fifth round or like sixth round, I guess if you find something.
You'll see. You know, maybe
After paying
maybe
they
try
just paid him a lot.
experiment again with Milrow
So basically, you're gonna take
in the second, third, and fourth.
You obviously have number 15 quarterback. Who's your quarterback? Anderson? Who's your quarterback?
The quarterback now, Minshew.
No. I'm talking
Who?
about
Oh, I'm sorry. The Colts. Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson. You have him. You just I don't know what they see in Danny Dimes. They paid him a lot. Like he got paid.
They paid him a lot, but that's how much quarterbacks are on the market now for.
That's the whole point. So you think they're gonna draft another one?
Well, yeah, why not? I mean, Anthony Richardson is horrible. He's so athletic. He can throw a
I
deep
won't say that
ball
he's horrible
better than anyone.
but
He can throw a crazy deep ball. He genuinely
he's not
has
horrible.
horrible ball placement. He has horrible ball placement.
He got some time to learn. He's not horrible though. That's so. I think after watching some of the craziest passes from even last year of him doing it, I can't call him horrible. I'm sorry. I call people like
He's
other
horrible.
quarterbacks. Like Danny Dimes.
He's super athletic. See, we mistake. You can't mistake.
I'm talking about his
a horrible
the way
quarterback.
that he can launch the ball. That's a
probably a good-
quarterback's arm talent. That's not him being athletic.
That's just him being athletic because he has no placement on the ball.
Stop it, bro. He's
horrible
not
placement.
horrible. He's not
He's
because
out
I
of
feel
the
like when you call somebody horrible, that's you basically
Out of the
saying,
NFL in 3 years. Out of the league in 3 years, potentially. If he doesn't somehow develop, because I don't even know how you develop such horrible ball placement. If he develops his short and intermediate throwing, then sure, he'll succeed. he'll actually kind of be like Cam. That's his ceiling. He has a crazy ceiling because it just
That's
of his
what I'm saying, bro.
sheer
You're
athletic
tripping,
ability.
bro.
It's just I think he's at his floor. I don't even think this is floor. Yeah, this is the floor for him. Like he needs to get up. I really just don't see. Yeah, I don't see the Colts
I
holding
feel
on him
like
much
you're
longer.
low key disrespecting him, man. I
I'm
don't
not
know.
disrespecting. He
I
need to
don't
lock
know.
in. He need to lock in.
He has to lock in, but you're like making it seem like he's literally the bottom barrel of a QB in the league.
Yeah.
You're crazy, bro.
But I guess
we
we'll
look
see
we look at a lot of second and third strings. You're crazy.
Well, I
bro.
guess we will see come
You're
draft
crazy,
day on
bro.
the 26th
We
of
will.
April.
We will.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. Speaking of being locked in, you got to be locked in the Wild Wild West. We look at the Western Conference, a day removed from the final game of the season, which they're all today.
Yeah.
They're actually about to start. Actually, we're about to miss
they
some ball.
they definitely all started.
We're
A
about to
lot
miss
of them
ball.
have all started, bro.
We missing ball for them right now.
I didn't miss ball. My Cavs actually just won. Yeah, definitely not missing.
But
no ball.
when we look at the Wild Wild West, obviously 1 and 2 solidified by the 2 youngest teams, believe it or not, in the West, the Oklahoma City Thunder and Houston, 3 through 7.
Dog, we got to look
It's
at it this
crazy.
way. For 10 teams, basically, they're going home. They have no chance or whatever. 13 teams right now on this Sunday are getting ready to go into the postseason.
Absolutely.
Not even that. 7 teams in the West are fighting for between the 4 and the 8 or 9. Like it's right now. This I don't know if we've seen it this close, and I think that this is where I want to come in with this. Adam Silver, he's done a lot of stuff where you can disagree, agree, whatever. The play-in is one of the best things that Adam Silver has brought to the league in the past 10 years.
How stupid are
They're
the Denver
crazy.
Nuggets for firing Mike Malone? We should have led
Do you
want to
give him a 10-second moment of silence?
You know what? Actually, yeah, I'm gonna put like a little picture of him, fallen angel from Mike Malone.
In the arms of the angel.
All right, chill out.
That was insane.
Yeah, it was.
That was
For Mike Malone to get fired 3 games before the playoffs after being the
I feel
winningest
like
head
we didn't even
coach.
start off exciting enough.
Yeah,
Let's like retract.
because I don't understand.
Mike Malone
got fired with 3 games left. I get the GM. The GM Calvin Booth for not making a move on the trade deadline, because we saw like the Clippers get Bogey. They should have went after Bogey or something, and the fact that they didn't do that for Jokic.
You fire Mike Malone.
You fire Mike Malone, which
with
was the first
3
move.
games left to go.
It's
Nikola
ridiculous.
Jokic's guy. All because a couple of losses.
Absolutely.
And mind you,
But
not even that. He had a big
undefeated
statement.
since the firing.
So
So
it doesn't matter.
right now we can't really say
he had
much.
a big statement before that game though.
Absolutely.
A lot of players they're not doing what they're supposed to do, bro. They're not even
course.
watching film, to even know what we're talking about, bro.
Exactly.
But I gotta
And
get
I
hit
think-
with the fire.
But that's just the league now. I think we look at these players making so much money. They have more control over the organization.
You make that
sometimes.
much when you can't sit down for an hour.
It's how it be. Some of them are very arrogant players, man. It is what
You
it is.
can't sit down for an hour, and now I gotta go through that. I gotta go through the blame. With that, what's the biggest one in the last 2 years? Brown from Kings, Memphis letting go of their coach, or this one right
Mike
here?
Malone. I think 3 games removed, he's won you a title less than
The most
years ago.
winningest coach in your
in Denver
franchise.
Nuggets history. Drafted Jamal Murray, drafted Nikola Jokic, drafted Michael Porter Jr., drafted Christian
They
Braun.
won't even let go of Porter Jr. They won't
Wanted-
let him go.
Wanted Aaron Gordon on the team prior to them acquiring him from Orlando. So we look at a man who basically built that roster while also being the coach of their
Right.
team is something. There is no respect and no class, and I think that's something he alluded to when Mike Brown got fired from Sacramento. Now, obviously, Adam in 2-0 since the firing. Nugs are in a little desperation mode right now, I should say, because they
Right.
want to win. They don't want to. I don't think they're looking for matchups, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I think they're looking to get the highest seed so they can have a home court series.
They can, but they obviously right now, because when we look at the 4 through the 7 right now in the West, they're all sitting at 49-32 or 48-33.
Mhm.
That is purely just chaos.
And the Rockets
Chaos.
are, and obviously this episode will be out after that game's over.
Right.
But I think for me, whoever wins that Nuggets Rockets game today, I think if the Nuggets win, that'll be a huge win for them. Obviously, the Rockets are playing all their starters because
No, they are not. They already clinched. They didn't even play all their starters against the Lakers.
I know, and
They've already clinched.
Ime's making them all start today, so the Nuggets
Really?
don't lock in that seed. They're gonna try to screw them over for seeding.
I don't know.
I know. I'm telling you. I saw it this morning.
Really?
I did.
That would be pretty wild.
It is. I'm actually gonna verify my stat real quick. But what do you
But
make of?
yeah.
What do you make of the seating? Do you like where it stands right now, or does anybody move? You think?
This is a little weird. I think it can possibly move. I guess the I don't know. That's what I'm saying. This is so weird. This is so weird. I think the Warriors could possibly stay up there. Minnesota, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. For them to all be this close at 49 and 48, that is just you can't even kind of say where this is gonna go. I'll be purely saying here. Let's look at all the games today.
They're also all
everybody
playing
played
today.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody played. Let's look at all the games today right now. Let's take a look.
Obviously, we have Lakers, Portland. I think Golden State and Clippers is
Yeah.
a big game.
The Cavs are in OT right now with
Dallas,
the Pacers.
Memphis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dallas, Memphis is a pretty big game, I think, as well. And then Denver, Houston, which I think is going to have some implications.
You want to know what's
too.
going to be? Because I know we're talking about the West right now. You know what's going to be really fun, bro?
What?
That Pistons and Bucks series is
Pistons
going to
Bucks.
be.
Yeah, obviously for everybody who knows or doesn't know, the Eastern Conference, their matchups are set a lot earlier than the West matchups, and it's been like that for the past 5 years.
Yeah, I see. It's always like that, man. I say past 10.
We'll jump into that real quick. We'll jump into some predictions for the series that we have set so far.
Right.
We have 2 series set in the Eastern Conference. We have obviously the one that we're going to talk about right now, Pistons Knicks, and then Bucks Pacers.
Nuts. Yeah.
Pistons Knicks, man. Who do you got there?
Mind you, I feel like they need more time. Let's talk about the Bucks and Pacers, bro. But Bucks and Pacers, that's tricky too. It depends on what the hell he on. What the hell he say? It depends on what he doing. It really depends on how Hallie is focused. Because last year, you know that Giannis, he keeps a lot of grudges. He keeps some stuff in the back of his mind. Little Malik Beasley shimmy. He keeps some stuff back here. Who did they lose to last year? Mind you, he was injured. He couldn't help his dogs out.
He could not help his team.
Brotherhood. Giannis is he one of the most brotherhood people in the league.
And I think you said it best. I think it depends what Halliburton's on. If he's shooting well, because obviously we know he's a great playmaker.
The past month, he has been shooting lights out.
And we know even in a bad game, he'll still be a great facilitator. Right. So it's really his scoring.
What's so good about his game. Like you can have a very off game and still
he'll still have 12, 13 assists.
Still give me 11, yeah.
And I think, but his scoring is going to be the most important. Yeah. I think Pascal's a performer. He's a good performer. He'll get you some points. I think Nate, I'm telling you right now, Nimhart.
He's nice.
Cold.
His brother's cold too. Both of them are very cold. They play just like each other. But
so I think it's going to depend on those guys.
Yep.
For the Bucks, it's Giannis. For the Pacers, it's the other guys.
Because Dame's out. Dame's gone. That hurt. That sucks.
Giannis is going to have to pick up a lot of slack.
2 years in a row, though. Dame is gone for your playoffs.
Which apparently he's progressing well. So maybe if the Bucks can prolong something,
which I think that this year they will. Like I'm saying, like Giannis, I think
absolutely he might be back for a second series.
Yeah.
Which to get Damian Lillard back in a second series, oh boy. After resting,
even when every time Dame gets hurt, he always can somehow come back and his game is used. I don't think we've seen him get hurt.
He's the point guard KD.
But his age it still plays a part. So I mean, we got to just see, especially playoff ball, who's going to be in that second round too. You got to be a little careful. Got to be a little careful.
Absolutely.
Now I say we can go into this
Knicks
luscious,
Pistons.
Just beautiful series of Pistons versus Knicks. That's going to be so grimy.
It is.
Oh my!
I think this is really going to depend on. Hey Tibbs, are you going to play your players the whole goddamn game?
It's been looking really bad. And you know what? I think the players feel that same way. Like the players, I think.
Tibbs, I appreciate the minutes. I appreciate the minutes, Tibbs. Let me sit down and drink some water, dog.
Yeah.
Like, what Tibbs playing is he's playing his players like his boot camp.
But it makes no sense because I don't think that he realizes how much it destructs that team. I'm not even trying to be biased. They had a 23-point lead on us. I think it was about 2 days ago. They played the Cavs. They had the game locked. They did not take out any starters at all. I think we saw the bench players for
insane.
possibly 5 minutes. And what happened? We came back with no Donovan Mitchell, no Ty Jerome, no DeAndre. And I'm pretty sure after the game, they bashed on not the players, they bashed on Tom. They bashed on Tom because he doesn't know when to take out, when to put in. And
You know what I
it
think?
sucks.
You know what I think about the Knicks, and then I look at the Knicks, and obviously they have a great record, 50 wins.
Yeah.
They gained a tremendous amount of offense with Cat.
Yeah. Cat,
But what they
OG.
had last year, the New York Knicks, with DiVincenzo and Julius Randle, who gave you that physicality. It was just that New York physicality. They don't have that this year.
I can't
which
say that.
I think is going to be a weakness for them in the playoffs. And I think the Pistons could potentially beat them in a 7-game series.
I don't know what it is, because usually when I watch them play, they're not bad. Cat isn't really that bad. I think it really depends on how much Boris Cat is getting, like how aggressive he is, and really Mikal and OG. When Mikal and OG are on, Jalen Brunson, he low-key does his thing usually all the time.
Absolutely.
OG and Mikal are such big pieces, because if they work out, they're a good
Jalen
team.
Brunson's a top
They're-
3-point guard in the NBA right now. That's what I think. Shea won. I mean, I'm not.
Shea's a shooting guard.
He plays the point.
She's a shooting guard.
He plays the point.
She's a shooting guard.
So AI's so. Oh no. No, Shea's a point guard.
He can. I guess he can be.
Actually,
So-
no, he
okay,
might be
okay,
two.
okay,
He might be
okay.
two. Brunson, and point guard. Oh, Luka is Luka point guard?
Mind him, y'all. But
Is
The-
Luka?
no,
Luka's
are
the
you
point guard for
serious?
them?
gang,
He's
No.
at point. He's
gang,
playing the
he
point.
carries the ball every time. But what is he always positioned as? Shit, LeBron James carries the ball sometimes. What is he positioned as? Third point guard? No.
LeBron was the point guard for them
Bron,
when they had
Bron is all
BI.
five because he's Bron. Luka is known as a shooting guard or a small forward. Like that's his known position, dog. That's his known position.
He's
Let's
literally
look up-
listed
let's-
at point
let's
guard
look
for
up
the
Luka.
Lakers
Let's look up
right
Luka.
now.
Let's look up Luka. Hold on.
He's
wait.
the point guard for the
Let's
Los
look up
Angeles
Luka's
Lakers.
position. Luka position. Let's see. Unless it's just somehow changed over the years, but he was definitely listed always as a small forward. for the
Point
last
guard,
absolute-
shooting guard.
Let's see. Yeah, point guard, shooting guard. All right, man. All right,
It
man.
literally, ESPN says
I guess
77
it
point
changed over
guard.
the years. It did it not used to be small forward. He used to be listed as small forward.
No,
He's 6'7",
no,
like 6'8".
and he's always been the point guard. So yeah, actually,
I
you know
don't
what?
know.
Is that Shea, Luka, Jalen? That's such a good list, and you know it. That's so, and it's not interchangeable. It's locked. It's locked in like that. It's
I don't know, I
locked
feel
in
I
like
feel
that. It's
Mm.
Luke, the top 3 point guards actually in the league. Forget the West. The league. Oh yeah. It's Shea, Luka, and then Brunson. Whole league.
So wait, Shea's listed as a point guard, but Don's not listed as a point guard.
Who?
Shea. I just
Shea
said
is a point guard. I
So,
just
okay,
said
so
that.
Don isn't. Don's a shooting guard.
Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, I'm saying, is he a shooting guard?
Donovan
I
Mitchell-
don't care about the top 3. I'm asking a question. Like this is like just based off like
Donovan
like,
Mitchell's a shooting guard. Darius Garland's your point guard.
So Shea isn't a shooting guard. I feel
Who
like that-
takes
like
up the ball for OKC?
Bro, Don takes up our ball. When Don's on the floor, who carries the
Dom?
ball? Yes.
Not Darius?
Darius gone. They switch off, but Don usually is our main ball handler.
But when y'all line up for the tip, when y'all line up for the tip off, who's on that side and who's on that side?
I'm just saying, bro. Who
I'm
carries
just
the ball?
saying.
By your logic, you're talking about who carries the ball. You're not talking about where they're lined up. LeBron. Wait, you just said LeBron. LeBron isn't usually always lined up.
No,
back.
you're so bugging.
I'm just
Watch a
saying. I'm
game.
saying. I'm
Watch a
saying,
game.
bro. I'm just saying, bro.
Watch a
Donovan
game.
Mitchell carries the ball up a lot.
Watch a
lot.
game.
So does he get listed as a point guard some games, and in some games he's just not, or like how does that work? I'm asking off of your logic.
Shea, Luka, Brunson.
Okay,
Those
okay.
are
I
my
just said
top
mind the
3.
top 3. I'm asking about the position.
No.
Okay.
And Don's a shooting guard.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
He
okay.
literally was. He
When
literally
I'm
wasn't even
looking
the.
at basketball
wasn't
point
even
guards,
the
I'm
point
not
at
seeing
Utah.
Shay's name up here. I'm not seeing Shay's name up here.
He
When I'm looking
wasn't-
at point guards, they're not showing Shay's name up here, man.
Dude, literally, if you type in Shea,
Hold on.
say Gilgeous Alexander, Canadian basketball point guard. That's his like title.
Let me see. Let me go to Shay real quick.
ESPN. Look, gang, look.
Shay. Let me go to Shay. Let me go to Shay. Chill on me. Chill on me.
Number 2,
How
point guard.
tall is Shay?
6'6", same height as Luka.
I guess it just changed. I guess it just changed, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it
feel like
did.
6'6", 5 years ago, you're
It
a
did.
shooting guard. You're a shooting guard.
I feel you. Welcome to the new NBA. 56 threes taken in the game is what the Boston Celtics are doing nowadays. Believe it or not.
Donovan Mitchell, who's 6'3", he's a shooting guard.
He is.
Okay.
He is a shooting guard. He's a great shooting guard too. And you know why he's wearing number 45? Because of the greatest shooting guard of all time, Michael
he's
Jordan.
a shooting guard.
He's a shooting
Shea
guard.
is also a shooting guard.
Yes.
I guess
No,
can
Shea-
at least
Shea
be
is not a
half and
shooting
half.
guard.
It's
Shea's
half
a
and
point
half.
guard.
Yes,
Stop.
he's half and half.
No,
He's a shooting guard slash
he's
point
not
guard.
half and half.
Yes, it is.
Bro, he's not half
Yes,
and half.
he is. He's a shooting guard slash point guard.
This
Yes,
is this is really a debate that we're having right now.
Yes,
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Luka are point guards.
it's Shea. See, look, because it's a known question. 2000.
They are the.
Hold on, wait.
They are.
Hold on, wait.
They are primary.
Hold on, wait.
ball-handler.
Stat mouse. 2021, 2022, shooting guard. 2020, 2023, shooting guard. 2023, 2024, shooting guard. Did this just change last year, Dave? Wait, did this just change last year? Is that? Wait.
He's
So I'm
listed
not
as-
tripping.
No,
This is stat. Wait. Is
He's
stat mouse
listed-
now wrong after all the years of stat mouse giving us one of the best stats of all
Stat
time?
is
Is stat mouse wrong?
It's wrong. He's a point guard. He's been a point guard. Sorry,
Oh man,
that's his primary position.
you just have a
so
person
that's
that
what
goes on
it's
like
gonna
the
be.
Wikipedia and like changes
They put
information on
LeBron
there.
They put
He
LeBron at
goes-
center for a game. They put
Yeah, 'cause
LeBron at center. So
plays
it's
all
LeBron
five.
at
Shea's
center.
not LeBron. Don't you ever do that.
You
He's the person that
I'm
goes
so
into
done.
Wikipedia and changes the information, don't you? You change
That's
the information on
ridiculous.
Wikipedia, don't you?
That's
Shea,
ridiculous.
my
to say.
glorious Shea, point guard, luscious. That's what you put on there, don't you?
That
It's
is
all right,
so
bro.
ridiculous to
It's
say.
all right, bro.
Same way that
So
Nikola
wait,
Jokic is a
when
center.
that's what I'm about to say. That's what I'm about to say. So Yoke.
It's
What
a
about Yoke?
center.
So, but he carries the ball a lot. You know what?
You can do that. He's not carrying it at the top of the key.
In transition, they who they sometimes even Jamal Murray when he gets the ball, you know who he looks for? Nikola. Before they even pass, before they even pass
There
the
are
back
still
court line,
positions.
they somehow pass it to their
You
center to carry the
forget,
ball.
But who's
Stop
he's
it, man.
always-
Stop it,
he's
man.
a center.
All right, man. All right, man.
He's a center.
Yeah, man. So you just changed this. The only 2 times that he's been a point guard was 2018, 2019 on the Clippers. He was listed as a point guard. Every year he was listed as a shooting guard, except for 2024, 2025. He's listed as a point guard. So I'm glad that
Fake
you're looking
news,
at
fake
very recent
information,
stats
man.
and you try to make it seem like I was crazy.
You
I
are
know I
crazy.
wasn't.
You are crazy.
I'm crazy, but they have a list as a shooting guard for 5 out of his 7 years that he's played in the NBA. But I'm crazy, right? Exactly. No, look,
Got him.
That's the whole point. Yeah, got him because you know you're wrong. It's cool, gang.
You're
I feel
cool.
you, yeah, man.
It's cool.
Shea is a shooting guard / point guard, I guess, this year, if you want to say that.
So now I'll say this. When we look at the playoffs as we head into them, what is one storyline that you're going to be paying attention to?
Lakers Warriors, if it happens, because I think it's gonna happen.
Okay. So
That's gonna
something
be
you're gonna pay attention to?
possibly, which I think we say this almost every time. That's gonna be possibly our last real matchup for Steph and LeBron, where they're going for the playoffs. Obviously, I think
Oh,
LeBron
so
being
you
in
think
the West.
next year LeBron retires?
I don't think he retires, but I don't know if they're gonna see each other in the playoffs again. I don't know about all of that.
Wow.
We said that in 2022.
Okay.
So yeah, I think in 2025, I don't know if we're gonna see that again. So I'm gonna pay attention to that. I think whoever the Rockets face, if it's the Timberwolves or the Grizzlies, you must watch ball. Like I said, the Knicks, Pistons, I gotta see that. Cause honestly, you can go to New York, you're hearing a lot of crazy stuff. You go to Detroit, it's people in buffs that's ready to kill you if you do something crazy.
I think the main storyline coming out of the West is probably just going to be, are the Nuggets going to bounce back and beat the Nuggets?
I don't see that. I don't think the Nuggets. Even
Nuggets
though
can go to the finals.
it's not something that everybody's going to be talking about and watching. Though, you think they're going to talk about more than the Lakers and Warriors?
Depending on whoever they play, if they run through them, I think it becomes
They're
that
most
narrative
likely
again.
playing the Clippers, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're gonna most likely, unless the
We'll
Clippers
see.
lose.
We'll see.
What are the Clippers gonna lose?
They could potentially lose. I mean, this isn't a surefire team.
I just
even
don't
though
think.
Kawhi's been playing out of his mind
I
recently.
don't think it's gonna be the biggest storyline. It's gonna be a good
No,
game. It's
I'm
not gonna
talking
be
about the
biggest story.
entire playoffs. When you look at the entire playoffs, I think the Nuggets, if they put a
You
string
just
together,
said
it
what's
wins.
Again, you just changed your question. You just said what's gonna be the biggest storyline of the first series, and I said it's most likely gonna be the Lakers and the Warriors.
Yeah.
That we don't have the stuff set for the second round.
Yeah.
I think in the first round, we're most likely going to be hearing the most stuff about LeBron and Steph Curry playing in the playoffs after they just won gold 8 months ago. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to be hearing about.
Who do you think Celtics end up playing at 7?
Depends on where the Magic is at. Trey been hooping like he always does. Atlanta hasn't been playing that bad, but they're just very obviously just so mid every year. So
I know. Dyson Daniels is such a great player on that
he
team,
is.
though.
He is.
He is
So,
awesome. He's got to get out of there.
which honestly, I would love to see him actually because the Celtics win. I would love to just see Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum have to get guarded by Dyson. Even if you got to get a little irritated,
Dyson Daniel could probably put together like a little Hawks run that makes us think they're going to win a game,
that's what
and
I'm
then
saying.
they get blown out by 20 again.
You guys could win in 4 or 5, but y'all gonna get irritated with Dyson Daniels. Like,
that one game that they
that's what
win,
I'm saying.
it's
Look,
'cause
like,
Dyson had 7 steals.
Irritated, like 7 steals.
Absolutely.
His percentages off the ball, yeah, it's gonna be one of those games. But Magic, honestly, the Magic size wise, the way
slowly getting help size wise.
So everything, yeah. So look, he knew.
Come on,
which
man.
one do we get on ESPN? And they'd be like,
No.
his what did Skip say that one time? His girth and gut,
his girth and tonnage. You crazy, man.
Skill. But gang, seriously, the Magic, they match up with the Celtics. Size wise, at least. Size wise,
Franz Wagner,
his brother, even though he's been injured most of the whole year.
Yeah.
Hey, what if something was happening? You never know.
I think Jalen Suggs is great.
He is. I think he needs to cut it all off.
Paolo.
Yeah, he needs to let it go.
Paolo is insane. Like you said, a top 10 player, which I think after we've been seeing more ball of him,
top 12, like top 12, top 10.
I can see that. I can see it.
He played.
He's like that. He reminds me of just more of the athletic.
You said he like a young JT. You said this, so honestly, this could be a big series for him.
It could be
a big series.
So I think.
Do you think Bulls Heat will be a good one for a little play-in?
Perfect to end it on the Gittler. I think when we look at them, they're not going to do much.
Why are you laughing, bro? Why are you laughing, gang?
I don't think because it's just funny to me. It's perfect to end it on this.
What about the Kings and the Mavs?
Kings and the Mavs, we'll have to see. Those aren't two teams that really frighten back.
Obviously, they're not going to do nothing against OKC. We're just saying that what's going to be in the play-in game.
No, I know. I think the Kings will take that. They'll just overbear them with strict
Mavs and 5 talent. Against OKC.
All right, that's it. That's enough for the Get Back podcast today.
Why?
That's crazy to say.
Come on, bro.
That's crazy to say.
I'm just saying, Mavs and 5 against OKC. AD punishes J-Dub. Yeah, man, I'm clip farming. Welcome back to the Get Back podcast, y'all.
I just want y'all to know.
Here.
Next episode gonna be a little different.
Wow, what's up?
I think it's gonna.
You ready to change something up?
I'm ready to change something up. I like how we just started putting the hats here, and I think it just we got to start progressing.
They gonna see.
We just want to say thank you. Hopefully, by this episode being out, we just want to say thank you for 100 dubs on Instagram.
That's big.
It's a
start of something for real. It's something special,
and it's the consistency. We've been putting out episodes, I think we getting out there. Obviously, you guys listen on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio. We appreciate you guys. We're gonna start possibly streaming here, and I want to say up in the next month. Yeah. We're gonna start streaming. Maybe hop on the game for you guys. It's gonna be a little more unfiltered version of the Get Back.
Out, man. Something a little different, but I think us at least being able to be a little unfiltered. It's gonna be fun.
I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Y'all play a little games and stuff. We're gonna get into it, but thank you for watching the Get Back podcast. It's Ayden Jones,
Damian Dusten.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
We out.